guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. As you can probably tell by my voice, I am a little sick. I happen to have a cold, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little raspy this week. But anyway, we're going to continue on here with the last of the Schleich dinosaurs for 2018 with our review today of the Triceratops. Now this Triceratops is honestly probably my favorite out of all of the 2018 lineup of Schleich. I personally absolutely love this thing. I think that the entire appearance of it is just beautiful. Everything about it is absolutely fantastic. I love the sculpt of it. The sculpt is very, very nice. It's very realistic, filled with lots of detail. And the color scheme is also not too terrible. I'm not too big of a fan of these weird little red bumps that run along the back. But I mean, aside from that, I think that this is an absolutely beautiful Triceratops. Definitely way better than the older Schleich Triceratops that they released a few years back. So let's get a closer look at it. So taking a look here at the head of the Triceratops, you can see the eye is just a pure black, but it's very nicely sculpted. It looks very realistic, has a beautiful gloss over it, so it really helps it come to life. In my opinion, the eye really helps to elaborate the face and just give it such a realistic look, because the eye is so nicely glossed and the entire sculpt around the eye is so beautifully done. I absolutely love that area of the Triceratops' head. You can see the horns and the mouth area, the little beak type area of the Triceratops are all beautifully sculpted. There's lots of little cracks and crevices in the horn and in the mouth too, and it just looks really good. A beautiful wash has been put over it. The horns are like a khaki type of a color, but then there's this darker wash that really brings out the cracks and crevices all over the face of the Triceratops, and it looks very, very good. It looks very nice. You can also see as I turn this, there's some gloss on the nostril of the Triceratops. You can see it just as I turn it there. Again, that's one thing that I absolutely love when any company seems to do it, but Schleich appears to do it quite a bit more often than most, is to put that little extra bit of realism with the gloss on the nostril. So yeah, I absolutely love that as well. You can see the inside of the mouth, you can see it a little bit there, but the tongue is nicely detailed. It's a reddish color. It looks very, very good. It also has a bit of a gloss over it. So again, the gloss has been added to this Triceratops all over the place. It really, really is a beautiful touch to a beautiful model. In my opinion, they did a great job as far as adding the gloss in to certain areas that definitely needed it. Looking up here at the frill, you can see that the frill is beautifully sculpted. There are little scales that have just been included all over the place. The scales seem to vary in size, which is just showing the amount of work that has gone into the sculpt of this Triceratops all over the head. The entire detail of it is just fantastic. It really is. But you can just see they've included a little bit of a red type of a bumpy area that just kind of leads down the frill all around it. I'm not super sold on it. It looks okay, at least on the head here. I kind of like it. And right here leading down from the horn, going to the smaller horn here on the front, they also have that little red bumpy area. It looks pretty good on the face, but I'm not super sold on it on the back. You can see also that there are the cracks and crevices that run along these little bumpy horns that run on the that run along the frill. You can see that they have also been painted the same way as the horns on the front of the face, and also given that darker wash so that it really brings out the detail of those little cracks and crevices. Looking up here at the face, you can also see by the mouth some beautiful skin folds and stuff right here as it's showing the motion of the mouth. Another beautiful touch here, and you can also see some very nice skin folds here right behind the neck, and a little bit of saggy skin hanging down here from the neck, so that looks very cool. Also another beautiful touch on this model here done by Schleich. You can see the muscle tone right here in the leg, bleeding down here into the foot. The foot is sculpted beautifully. The toenails are also sculpted very nicely and pretty much look exactly the same as the horns, with the same deal, the same paint, same types of cracks and crevices, and the dark wash put over it. As you can see, this dark wash has been included all over the entire dinosaur model. Everywhere you can see has that dark wash which really helps to elaborate the beautiful sculpt work done on this model. Schleich tends to do that way more often than most companies do, and I love that they do that because then you can really get an idea of just how much work has gone into the sculpt of their dinosaurs. You can see a little bit more of a skin fold here on the upper part, and then the skin stretching here as this leg is pulling forward, and the skin also stretching here as the back leg is pulling back. So very, very good attention to detail as to how the body would actually look. You can make out a little bit of the muscle tone here in the hip area and the thigh, and then coming down here into the calf you can also see some nice muscle tone again. Going down into the foot, same deal with the nails back here. They look beautiful. The feet are absolutely fantastic on this Triceratops. You can see even those back feet there, looking from this distance, they look absolutely awesome in my opinion. Coming up here you can see the tail is nicely sculpted as well. Beautiful skin folds here right behind the leg, and nicely done detail the entire way out. They did not skimp out on this Triceratops anywhere. Looking at the other side, you can see that the other side is just as beautiful as the previous side. Here you can see that the skin is folding again right here behind the leg as this leg is pushing up. Beautiful sculpt work really all over this leg. The entire dinosaur is just sculpted so realistically in my opinion. All the areas that should have motion, or like should look like they have motion, have that, and that's beautiful. You can even see under here just all the work that's done right here on the underside, just how the dinosaur would be moving. It's really showing that with the way that they've sculpted the skin, the way that it's folding and stuff everywhere. It looks absolutely awesome, especially right here in between the two legs. You can see the skin is just really scrunched up there. So again, beautiful attention to detail. They did such a good job on this Triceratops. It probably is my favorite out of the entire 2018 lineup from Schleich. Going back down here to the bottom, you can also see some more beautiful sculpt work on the underside. The underside actually has a little bit of a darker coloration of brown than the upper side, which is a little different because normally dinosaur companies tend to give the dinosaurs a lighter color on the underside as opposed to a darker color, but this one has a darker color, and I actually think it looks really quite nice because of it. They did a beautiful job on that. And then looking up here in the back, you can see again those bumps that I was talking about that run the course of the spine. They are very strange in my opinion. I'm not super sold on them. I don't really know how much I like them. I mean, they'd probably look good if they were painted a different color. That might just be the issue. I don't know if I really like the red coloration on them. It just kind of looks like his back is coated with little berries or something. But it doesn't look terrible. I just feel like it could have been better with a more realistic color. But again, the overall appearance of the Triceratops in my opinion is really, really nice. That it is filled, like I said, with lots and lots of beautiful detail. I feel like the color scheme is pretty good, but then again, the red on the back is like the only takeaway from the paint job in my opinion. But other than that, an absolutely beautiful Triceratops. So this is the last, I believe, of the 2018 lineup of the Schleich figures for their prehistoric line. I had seen some pictures of a few others that they were going to be releasing sometime this year, but as of right now, what is released, I have officially put them all, I believe, on the channel. Unless there's one that I'm forgetting, and then if there is, please let me know in the comments, but I think I've gotten them all. And like I said, this one is probably my favorite just because of how beautiful it looks. It's really a really nice looking Triceratops. The entire sculpt of it is just absolutely fantastic. The only issue whatsoever that I have with this thing in any way, shape, or form is just this strange coloration with these bumps on the back. I'm not really sold on this red that they have going down the spine of the Triceratops. But other than that, I feel like everything is beautiful, especially the sculpt work and detail, like I was saying, with the skin of the Triceratops is just so nicely and realistically done that they did such a beautiful job on that. And then again, the gloss on the eyes and the nostril and the mouth and stuff, it just really helps to make it look so real to me. As far as the size goes, from the front of the mouth here to the tail, you're looking at about 8 inches, and to the top of the frill, you're looking at a little under 4 inches, about 10 centimeters, and the length actually in centimeters would be about 20 centimeters long. Beautiful sized Triceratops, it honestly is. It's a really, really nice size. To show you the size, here is a size comparison with Mr. Papo T-Rex. You can see that they match up pretty well together. There would be a very beautiful fight scene right there between these two. So definitely a nice sized Triceratops. So Schleich really stepped it up this year in my opinion. In 2018 they just nailed it with quite a few of their models. They had a few that were a little iffy, like their Velociraptor, which I absolutely despised, was terrible. But then they released the Tyrannosaurus, and they released the Carnotaurus, which the Carnotaurus was just off the wall insane, but in my opinion it was a very nice model. It was just, it was filled with detail, just a little weird looking. The Tyrannosaurus I also liked quite a bit. Not exactly the most correct and scientifically accurate T-Rex, but it was really nice. Now actually some people are saying that the Carnotaurus, the T-Rex, and the Velociraptor were 2017 models, but I personally didn't have the opportunity to own them here in the United States until 2018, so in my opinion I would consider them 2018 models. But then they released a few more after that, and I feel like really all of them were beautiful. There was the Tawa, the Oviraptor, the Dinogorgon, the Psittacosaurus, and then this Triceratops, and honestly all of them just blew me away. They really just kind of looked just way better than I would expect out of Schleich. Not to say Schleich is bad in any way with their prehistoric models, but I just feel like more often than not their dinosaurs kind of look a little crazier than they should, like their Therizinosaurus for example. But this year they really just delivered, in my opinion, on some of their prehistoric models, and that last little rush of figures, they all looked beautiful in my opinion. And some of the earlier ones, like I said with the T-Rex and Carnotaurus, I also did really like. They just weren't the most scientifically accurate ones. But either way, overall, in my opinion, 2018 was an absolutely beautiful year for Schleich. I was so psyched for almost all of their figures, and I'm definitely looking forward to these other figures that they should be releasing sometime later on this year. So if you want to buy this guy, I will put a link in the description for you to purchase him. Can't recall off the top of my head exactly how much he is, but my guess is probably around the $20 range, and it's definitely worth it because it's an absolutely beautiful Triceratops. So check the description for the link to where you can purchase this guy, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.